including you right where I started with them. They fill the forms out.
Well, they have. Well, I haven't seen them. How come I can't see them? If you don't want me to share them with the press, I won't. You've got my word. But why can't I see them? What is the big secret?
All right, I'll consider it, but what I'm asking you is, what is the big secret for yourself? You
There's
can put
no
the cuts
secret.
right
I
on
want
the
to know
table.
what everybody else's position is, the starting point. They're the majorities. They're the ones that are running the place. Why can't I see the majority's positions where it's agreed upon, not what's under negotiation? I'm not asking for that.
We put out our budget 2 months ago. It's there.
But where's the agreement between the Senate's, we talked about this last week, Shelley, is the fact that you put yours out in bill text. It's very easy to follow. The Senate does a generic resolution that doesn't do it specifically like the Assembly majority has. So that's why we're trying to sort it all out. And if you've already got the information, I don't understand why you can't share it. And if you want to block me in a room so no one can leak it out, fine.
We'll consider that.
Put the $6 or $7 billion there, and then you're within $1 billion or so of disagreements, and that can be negotiated. But put it in the next budget, extend it, and let's have an up and down vote. Instead of piecemealing this through and torturing the people of this state, you've agreed upon it. You're all Democrats. You said that last year, that you don't need Republicans in the room. So put it out. That's leadership, Governor. Put it out in your next extender, the $6 to $7 billion in cuts that you have agreed upon with the two majorities. Put it out. Don't play a game with this week I'm going to do this. We may have a budget in a month from now. Put it in your extender. That's what leadership would be about. Put it in your extender.
Let me just tell you, there are a couple of legislators who it seems every time about this time of year we find out how sui generis they are and how disingenuous they are. And I'm not going to respond to any threats, any thug activity. I'm not going to respond to any kind of blackmail in that respect. But you are a leader of the legislature. You presumably will ask the public this fall to make you the majority leader. Now, my understanding always was that you're in favor of Medicaid cuts, you're in favor of spending caps, you're in favor of reducing the spending in government. And yet, you seem to go in the same direction of those who've demonstrated by reputation that they're irresponsible and have now suggested yourself. Not only are you going to allow the government to shut down, but you're going to take 29 other members of your conference with you. And I'm saying to you that we have a difficult negotiation. We have a problem. But what you're suggesting is just, at this point, with the state nearly insolvent.
What do you define as we? The Speaker, you, and Senator Sampson?
I'm talking about the entire state. I'm talking about the people of the state.
But how do we, and I understand.
We is all the people who suffer if the government shuts down.
I want to sit down and come to a resolution. Let's do it. Last week he said, put your plans on the table. Leader Cobb? Excuse me. Leader Cole. Leader Cole. Leader Cole.
Would you like it if I called you Senator Simpson?
You can call me anything you want. Leader, you can call me anything you want.
How hard is it? Colbach.
You can call me anything you want to, Leader.
He's
Anything
confusing you
want.
with Carl Kruger.
You can call me anything you want to. But
Plan. The fiscal governor said he'd like to put out a consensus of where the cuts are going to be. After that meeting, the governor sent you and sent Leader Kolb a score sheet and said, in these areas, what should we put down as a cut number? The areas of the conference committee, so he can come to a consensus among the leaders, set a target, and begin conference committees. You demurred from that, and you continue today not to answer the question.
You're wrong.
And he is trying to include you in the process, but you are refusing to be included because you want to be throwing bombs from the outside. You don't want to receive the criticism for suggesting anything.
No.
When he put up a $775 million cut in Medicaid, I don't know whether you said it's too much or it's not enough, but you got your entire conference to vote no
we-
on it.
and we had-
So let's be
we had-
realistic.
we
The
had-
only one who's preventing things from happening is, according to the process, is you.
Missing the point. When they come, vote against them.
But we don't believe that this should be piecemeal, that it should be an open, transparent process so that if certain people don't like certain cuts, they should have the right to express that they don't like it.
So do I, but we have not gotten within $1.5 billion of agreement. So what I'm doing is, rather than exacerbating the cuts by having them divided over 10 months rather than 12, I put them in the emergency appropriation, which is not out of the bounds of my responsibility.
Do it all at once. Do the agreed-upon cuts, the 6 to 7 billion.
I'll tell you what,
that you've all
Senator,
agreed on.
I'll
Put
tell
them
you
in the
what.
next extended.
I'll consider that. Here's
Okay.
what I'd like you to do. I'm going to put the cuts in human services and in mental health next week. I want you to vote for them, because they're no